Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Andrew Discusses, and today I want to dive into my nerd side. Yes, that's right, it's called Nerdvana for a reason, folks. It's Nerdvana. I love that joke, but anyway. Recently I've been watching some clips of Star Trek, and by clips, I mean literally clips, because YouTube is not going to put up an hour-long show on their goddamn network for free. I mean, come on. It's not happening. Though I wish some streaming networks would actually put up the series that I could watch for free, like, you know, Tubi, Roku channel, Crackle, somebody. I'd love to rewatch some episodes of Voyager, Next Generation. That's literally it, because I wasn't a huge fan of Deep Space Nine. I can stand the clips of it, but I can't stand the whole show. I can stand the clips, though. But as far as the original generation, like the original series, and Enterprise, both of those can kiss right off. And don't even get me started on Star Trek Picard. Yeah, Riker's making pizza in the woods. That's about the only good thing that came out of that series. That seriously is about the only good thing that came out of that series. Anyway, I want to talk today about one of the most menacing villains in all of Star Trek history. And the reason why is because I kind of have an interesting little theory. Now, I stopped my Andrew Theories videos a long time ago, so this is mostly just a discussion because I just want to voice this out there. Now, I'm sure you know of the Borg. You know, the last thing you're ever going to hear, if you ever encounter the Borg, the last words you're ever going to hear, you know, resistance is futile. You will be assimilated. They are the Borg. In the Delta Quadrant of space, they basically exist. They assimilate worlds and people, integrating them into themselves, and thus, that's it. They're first encountered by the Enterprise under the command of Jean-Luc Picard in a Season 2 episode called, I think it was Q Who, and that's when they're introduced. And oh my god! They're fucking insane! Now, they're not the most menacing villain, though, in the whole of Star Trek, because that title goes to species 2864? Which is 2, yeah, I think that was what it was. Or 8264, I think. Hold on. S-P-E-C-I. This is 8264. Is that it? Probably isn't it. No, my luck, that isn't it. This is 8264. No. Species 2864. Hold on. Species 8264 SDR-TREK. They were introduced in Voyager. I'm trying to remember. 8264! 8264. Alright. Was that it? No. Hold on. No. Yep, that's what it was. 8264. Yep, species 8264 is the most. They are the top rung. When the Borg are wetting their cybernetic pants, trying to take these things down, I'm sorry, that's officially when you know you're fucked. Okay? That's it. Okay? Seriously. Or 8472. It's 8472. Okay, it was an 8472. I knew it was 8 something. It's just, there's a freaking Borg classification for it. Yeah, 8472. Okay, species 8472. Okay, my apologies to all the Trek nerds out there, but yeah, keep in mind, I was trying to remember the number off the top of my head. But anyway, species 8472 is officially the worst. They are the top rung of Star Trek villains because they got the Borg wetting their pants. The Borg! This is the group that, after assimilating Captain Picard, wiped out 40 fucking Federation ships in a matter of seconds / minutes. They were gone. Yeah, anybody hear of the Battle of Wolf 359? Yeah, that's what happened. Shit got real. Then 6 years later, I liked how the one person was describing this battle, because in Star Trek First Contact, they battle the Borg again in Sector 001, which is basically Earth, and I love this. You can see what happens when you piss off the Federation. It's like, look, this was 6 years ago. We had no idea how to coordinate a mass military strike. We had no idea what we were doing. We got our asses kicked quite easily, I might add, because we're idiots. Annihilated crap tons of ships. You had Benjamin Sisko, who was the captain, then became the captain or commander of Deep Space Nine, and he lost his wife there. Yeah. And boom! But you know that freaking shit gets real when 6 years later, not only are they damaging the Borg cube, they're fucking inflicting actual pain and misery onto it. That's when you know that you fucked up. Why? Because now the Federation knows how to fight. It's like, look, you basically gave a stick to a Neanderthal and said, learn how to use this. I'll be back in 6 years. 6 years later, they have more sticks, bows, arrows, and they're building a cannon. Now you know you're fucked. You're fucked 5 ways from Friday. Yeah, that's right. But it gets even better, though, because here's the thing. When the Borg were introduced, they were introduced by Q. Because Q, being Q, wanted to prove a point to Picard that humans are not ready to explore the vastness of space. You do not know what is awaiting you out there. But I'm wondering something. This is something that's been bugging me lately. Is it possible that Q did this intentionally? Not just to show Picard that humanity really hasn't evolved to the level that he thinks it has, but because the Continuum want them to, and quickly. See, here's the thing. The Borg assimilate. They basically take whatever they see in front of them. If you're a planet, they assimilate. They adapt to whatever you use to defend yourself. You blow one up, good luck. That's not going to work on the second one because they've adapted. It's a hive mentality. That's always led to one of my favorite fantasy battles is who would win in a fight, Iron Man versus the Borg. Because you figure after 1 or 2 repulsor blasts, well, they're useless now. I mean, you'd really be pushing Tony Stark to his limits trying to solve this one. I mean, we'd actually probably have to get a multi-dimensional sort of deal here with the many different Iron Men from all over dimensions or something. We'd have to really pull some strange voodoo bullshit here. But anyway, I'm kind of wondering if Q did this intentionally because the Q Continuum needed the Borg to go away. Now, granted, okay, the Q could have just, and they're gone. But, here's the thing. If the Borg could have assimilated a Q, ain't gonna work. They can't just snap them out of existence. I mean, you wish they could, but it wouldn't happen. They wouldn't have the ability to do it anymore. So then that argues and begs the question, why? As you figure, For a species that suddenly appears in Voyager called 8472, that basically is wiping the floor with the Borg, that kind of makes me think, okay, so humanity's our A plan. What's our B plan? This. We've created a species. They can wipe out the Borg. We're liable to have another Borg situation on our hands, but for now, we figure fire with fire, we're good. Maybe they'll burn each other out. Meanwhile, the Borg have to actually turn to Voyager to help them. Please help us. I mean, when your enemy is basically begging for your assistance, practically on their hands and knees, that's when you know that fun stuff happens. And I mean, this is a species that assimilates everything. When they assimilated Picard and he became Locutus of Borg, he wiped the floor with the Federation. If he would have got to Earth, that would have been it. Goodbye, Federation, goodbye, Earth, and Star Trek would have been done. That didn't happen. And that's the interesting concept of this, because if that would have happened, there goes the franchise. Long before Bakula fucked it up, there goes the franchise. But the thing is, are the Borg a threat to the Q? Which kind of makes you wonder, did the Q intentionally want the Enterprise to be introduced to the Borg? Was this just Q's actual idea to prove a point? Or was it actually what they needed to have happen? I mean, up until this point, the Enterprise had an interaction with the Continuum. They weren't exactly on good speaking terms. I mean, hell, they were basically screwed. They were being put on trial for the crimes of humanity. Woohoo! Though they were exonerated, and I believe put on probation for really stupid reasons, at least for the time being, here's the thing. The Q still see them as a possible help. I mean, the Q are omnipotent gods in this world. And say what you will, they can literally snap things out of existence. They can turn, ones of their own race mortal as a punishment. Look at Deja Q. So the thing is, if they can snap things into existence and out of existence, if they can control things just by a flick of their wrist, a wave of their hand, and they can pull some Jedi-esque level magic here, that's God level. Not to mention the fact that they're immortal. Well, supposedly immortal, but still. That begs the question then. Could one of them have been assimilated or had the threat of being assimilated? I mean, if the Borg become a massive threat against the universe, they're either going to wipe everything out, the universe is going to band together to destroy them, or one of the two, if not both. Or they'll just wipe each other out. But here's the thing. If they eventually get to the point where they end up capturing a Q, not realizing it's a Q, and let's say a rookie Q, I just got my powers, I'm in the Continuum, I'm still a newbie Q. Then all of a sudden, now you have a massive problem on your hands. Because they've assimilated a Q. Now they have a shit ton of knowledge. More so than you would have thought possible. On top of that, they'll know how to get to the Continuum. They'll know how to access it. They will have everything they need to reach God level. The Continuum can't let that happen. So of course, what do? Plan A. Q. Go piss off Picard. Introduce him to the Borg. Then all of a sudden, it's like, we need a backup plan. Q. Go make a species that can take out the Borg. We need a backup plan, just in case Q's plan doesn't work. And by the way, in case you're getting confused, they all kind of have the name Q because the Q that we know, played by John Delancey, kind of gave all of them the name Q. Yeah, I know, it's confusing as hell, but still, it is what it is. Anyway, that's an interesting concept, though, isn't it? I mean, if the Borg could assimilate a Q, we're all screwed. Literally. There is nothing that can stop them then. The Klingons? Nope. Romulans? Nope. The Vulcans? Hell no. The Earth? We're already deep fucked. There is nothing that could stop them. At that point, I don't even think Species 8472 would have had a chance. They would have literally looked at that and been like, yeah, we're screwed too. Hey, any human survivors, we want to join you. I mean, there was an episode, I don't remember what the title of it was, but of Next Generation, where there were parallel dimensions converging on our own. And there was one that there was an Enterprise that was so heavily damaged. And you had this really grizzled Riker that sends a hailing frequency to the main Enterprise, the one from our dimension, and goes, we're not going back. We don't want to go back. We can't go back. You don't understand. In our dimension, the Borg run everything. They rule everything. We can't go back. We refuse. They actually tried opening fire when the Enterprise retaliated to disable them. They ended up destroying the ship because there was nothing left of it. It was already beaten to hell and back again because of all the battles that it had seen. So that just begs the question, how exactly would this turn out? I mean, think of it this way. They could have came from a dimension where the Borg assimilated a Q. Right there. That's the massive clusterfuck. We're all screwed at that point. They assimilated a Q. We're boned. Good night. Good night, nurse. We're done. But you never know. But I'd love to see what that reality was. I mean, they could have did like a movie with that. I mean, not now anymore. I don't really want... No offense to the current state of the actors from Next Generation, but stick to your Picard series because I think that's going to be the last hurrah you're all ever going to get. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean about it, but enjoy it while it lasts because CBS and Paramount have royally started screwing the Star Trek franchise. I mean, Bakula started it. He had the franchise bend over and just ram the screwdriver up there. And then CBS and Paramount just came in and is like, hey, we're getting Bakula sloppy seconds. All right, let's do this. And then there you go. And yes, for those of you out there wondering, I was not a huge fan of Enterprise. I mean, you want to know my favorite Star Trek series? Voyager is my favorite by far. Next Generation's a close second. The reason why is Voyager had good characters and a kick-ass intro. Literally, it had a kick-ass intro. With the original series, it wasn't that interesting. Oh, wow. It's just... Pfft, it was nothing. Next Generation was just a more upbeat version of the original intro, because it's the Next Generation. It's not exactly, this massive song and dance number. But with Voyager, it was just this orchestral tone. It's like you are going to be seeing this intense, unique series that's going to be taking you all over the place, the things that you've never seen before in the Star Trek universe. There might be occasional run-ins with species that you may have already known and seen beforehand, but everything else is brand new. With Next Generation, it's diplomatic. Oh, we get to destroy something this week. Diplomatic. And we get to blow something up again. Diplomatic. Oh, look, Ghost is wanting to make love to the Doctor. Oh, okay. Diplomatic. Oh, look, there's a problem on the Enterprise. Yay! I mean, the stories for Next Generation kept the series interesting because, granted, it followed sort of like a mundane pattern where you'd have like 3 boring stories and then like 1 or 2 kick-ass stories in between. With Voyager, it's Planet of the Week, Planet of the Week, Planet of the Week, Planet of the Week, Planet of the Week. Which is fine, because basically they're stuck in the Delta Quadrant. That's their entire gimmick. They have to get back home. You're going to interact with different planets. You're going to be interacting with new species. That's interesting. But the characters for Voyager is what made the show really good. I mean, you had Neelix, which my mom liked. My favorite was the Doctor. I thought the Doctor was cool. The EMH. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. I like the episode Tinker Tenor Dr. Spy. It's one of my favorites. Because it just shows that, that's the data of the group in a way. He dreams of functioning like the rest of the humans do. He wants to be treated like everybody else, but he's confined to sickbay because he's a hologram. That's it. That's all he is. Until they end up getting a run-in from the, I think it was 24th century, where, oh look, here's a little device that can make you solid. Ooh! And that ends up coming back with him. Ooh! We're fucking with the time stream! And then again, his Voyager, I'll let him have some leeway. At least it's not like the original series where Kirk was violating the Prime Directive left and right when he wanted some ass. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, that's right, I said it and I stand by it. That's all he ever did. Kirk wants to tap that alien ass. So I'll violate the Prime Directive. What the hell? Spock, Bones, I'll take this one. It's Captain's duty to investigate the new, strange species of this planet. Spock, have a bottle of fine wine chilled in my room. Bones, get ready in case I need you. I might let you tag in, I don't know. But that was basically the original series in a nutshell. It's Kirk wanting to get it on. Oh, but he took on that lizard thing. Yeah, the Gorg, the Gorn, I think it was called. Yeah. Who cares? Ooh, he made a cannon and blew it in the thing's face. Ooh. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I liked the 7th movie. I think, yeah, it would have been Generations. No, 8. No, 7th. 7th, I was right, 7th. Because 8 would have been First Contact, 9 was Insurrection, and 10 was and Nemesis was 10. Yeah. So, number 7, Generations, when he got killed. Yep, that was my favorite. That was my favorite. Why? Because Kirk, in an effort to save the Enterprise, which isn't even equipped with the basic utilities, there's no medical staff. No tractor beam. Do you have anything on this ship that works? No? I didn't think so. I always like that. Let me guess, Tuesday. Let me guess, Tuesday. Let me guess, Tuesday. Yeah, that's when everything was getting installed. But yeah, we're going to take this thing out because we want the PR publicity for having Kirk on here. Whoa. And then Kirk gets supposedly killed. Yay! Only to find out that he's still technically alive in the Nexus. Boo! Then him and Picard team up to take down the guy responsible. Yay! And Kirk dies again. Yay! That's why I stance on it. I'm not a fan of the original series. I'm really not. And that's why. Because Kirk was an asshole. A bona fide asshole. But yeah, so anyway, like I was saying, getting back into this, because you have the Borg, you have the Q, you have species 8472. All connected, I think. And what makes this interesting is that now you're kind of wondering the same thing. You know, did the Q create that species to take out the Borg as Plan B? I mean, maybe humanity wasn't moving fast enough to get the job done. The Borg's like, the Q's like, we gotta piss on this fire and fast. Okay, there's another species. They'll take care of the Borg. Oh, thank God. What happens if they turn on us? Oh, I never thought of that. Oh, maybe they'll kill each other off, and we'll be lucky. No. See, I'm amazed that the Borg couldn't adapt to that. That's kind of interesting. But then again, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below for everything that we've discussed this time. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been Andrew Discusses.